Hmm. Good morning.
Hi.
All right. So let's just start out by taking some slow, deep breaths. Hmm. Calling ourselves to ourselves and letting go of our morning and our week to be fully present right here, right now, and allowing what's for all of our highest good to come through in this next 30 minutes. Again, that's for our highest good. Settling into our bodies, into our breath, maybe even from our root chakra, starting to send out some strong, stabilizing, grounding roots, going down, down, feeling them dig into that lush, nutrient dense soil, weaving their way through all of the cracks and crevices and underwater tunnels, finding their way to the roots or to the center of the earth, and feeling a big sigh of, ah, I'm grounded, I'm here. And then, if you want to, just lighting a candle in honor of taking the time to create this space. And if you don't have a candle, you can do that in your mind's eye as well. So now our sacred space is open. Let's let the conversations roll.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much, Brittany. I needed that. I actually had my candle lit and a little Palo Santo going earlier today just to clear out my field and clear out this space and to help me drop in. I know earlier we were talking about how both of us had days yesterday that were full and a little like not as grounded as our body desires and as our mind and our being's desires. So having you guide us into that space and just set the intention is exactly what I needed. So for
Yeah.
those tuning in, I hope that it served you. And I'm Sharon Showmaker, and this is Brittany Hobbs, and we are the Healing Mamas. And if you all are tuning in here, then I'm guessing that you are the Healing Mamas as well, that we're wanting to connect with and share space with, and yeah, walk this journey of alternative living, alternative healing, and growing and evolving ourselves in a path that can be, that is brand new for many of us. And that newness, that forging a new way, can be kind of isolating or not, it's not as worn. So there's a lot of energy and intention to walk this path. So thank you for being here. Our intention is to create community and solidarity as we kind of forge this new way of living.
Yes. Yes. Thank you all for being here. And I think today we were talking about seasons and cycles and rhythms, and how we flow through. And I just wanted to dive into, I think, as we started out this with just wanting to press record, right? To share these conversations that always feel so nourishing and nurturing, and also kind of light us up, that helps us to move ahead in a bigger way. And we're also getting inspired to take it to yet another level, Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm like, I think that's part of the like ungrounding, like I'm in the buzz of the excitement and of the potential and of the doingness to become the being that I've wanted to be for a really long time and haven't found my way into it. Both Brittany and I met in a year-long kind of what do they call it? A magical
Magical
mystery. Yeah, like
magic school.
a magic school, essentially, exactly. And in that school, we joined with the intention of tapping deeper into our own gifts, our own unique gifts. There's obviously a huge healing element that happened. And I think for both of us, there was also this deep desire to take our gifts and our callings, which came before the school, and put them into the world and begin to supplement and fund our dream life by doing what we love and making impact and being of service to the collective and to the healing of ourselves, our families, and other humans on this journey. So in that magical trade school is what it is. The focus was on cycles and seasons and rhythms, and I know at the helm of it was the wheel of the year and the different cycles and seasons of both the actual year and of the moon, and in turn looking at our own cycles and seasons that we move throughout the year based on time and place we were born, based on our menstruation cycle, based on when we are most active, evening, day, spring, summer. There's so many elements that are really intertwined as we try to find our own unique rhythm and sync it up with the rhythm and the cycles of nature.
Mm-hmm. And I think it's really fascinating, to bring it into a real world example of how that's been showing up for both of us, even in the last week. We're both lit up and excited about this new chapter that we're co-creating together. And yet you're in a different part of your cycle than I'm in. And so it's showing up, and I'll let you share how it's showing up for you. Mm-hmm. But for me, I'm in what we consider the fall part of the cycle, right before the bleeding starts. And it's all about death and rebirth, and it's all about slowing down. And it's also a time when what needs to die or what is ready to be let go of is surfacing. And so I've been kind of really heavy and dense with everything that's rising up, and trying to be really present with that so that I can let that go. So then once I get to that beautiful spring summer phase, that I am lighter and more creative and inspired and in moving towards, another version or rebirth of myself. Right. But so I've been slower. I've been feeling less productive, less creative, and having to be okay with that, because it's learning, not to be in I don't want to use the word patriarchal, but being in that solar energy, that constant energy, constant production. And so feeling like, oh man, I'm not meeting what I feel I should be meeting, but instead it's kind of rewiring and reprogramming and settling into, no, this is how my rhythm is supposed to go. And Sharon's in a different part of hers, and so it's showing up differently. And then we kind of balance each other out because we're at opposite pieces.
Yeah, which is
how that's working out.
So amazing. I think I can speak to both of us. We have a lot of juicy, amazing, creative ideas and things we want to put into the world, but doing it by ourselves, there were times that we would get stuck or just not have that support system. And what we've noticed is having each other to sounding board off of and to collaborate with and to be inspired with. And even more powerful is to say, this is what I'm struggling with. This is what I'm processing. And so the other perk that we've noticed is that I am in my spring summer. So I'm in my creative flow state, and I'm in, especially because I'm in the creativeness and Canva and so inspired. Like I am hyper productive right now in wanting to create and put these images that came to us and are flowing through us into images. And it's been so fun. And it's been nice to know that we both have the awareness of our cycles. We both went through this year-long program. So as we do this joint venture together, we're bringing in all the wisdom that we learned as we integrate it even deeper, and then get the reminder and the confirmation of like so many parts of it. The magical part that unfolded when we did a guided meditation separately called Meet the Soul of Your Business. And when we did it, the outcome and what we both experienced were of the same essence, and it felt like such confirmation. So bringing in that element, and then bringing in the awareness of each of our cycles, bringing in the teachings of the integrity and the conversations and the openness of how do we navigate this joint venture from a place of trust and full honesty and vulnerability and authenticity. Like it's just really been amazing to put and implement all of those amazing teachings actually into action.
And I hope this is building that curiosity about what are we creating.
I'm so excited. I mean, seriously, I was on the fence today. I'm like, do we hop on this call or do I just show her everything that I've been creating in Canva? So and Samhain started a couple days ago. So I think both of us are also working on balancing like this excitement and this desire to launch something in a relatively short period of time, in a season of slowing down and shedding, which as I say that, it's like, yes, we're in this productive and exciting and creation piece, but in doing that, we are both shedding so much of what didn't work for us. Like as I said that, I'm like, oh wait, we actually are shedding. We're shedding the lone wolf. We're shedding the stuckness. We're shedding that feeling of needing to do it alone. There's so much that actually is being shedded and will nourish us as it drops away and we move into this slowing down season. And I think the last thing I want to say is that I think both of us could come up with a lot of excuses why, oh, maybe we should put this off and not do it. Maybe we should not try to rush it. But then there's this other piece of like, this is our calling. Like, this is our time. We can always find one more reason to put it off. And so in that spirit, we are not putting it off. We are diving full in, and we have the intention of stretching out November to be able to accomplish and do all the things that we want to be and become.
And the other thing that comes up is it's also Scorpio season, right? Which is in alignment with Pluto and the death rebirth cycle, but also boundaries and foundations, right? And so there's a lot going on of holding boundaries or honoring boundaries within ourselves, but also being really mindful of, okay, what foundational things do we want to build and hold ourselves with as we move forward through this huge, exciting thing we're making.
Yeah, I know. And what comes up is like, also, like even the boundaries of like what would serve us and what would serve the mamas and the humans and the women that we want to support. And how do we, both of us could just come to the table and be like, wow, we have all this that we want to share. And so like, where do we start with just simplifying it down and building that ground floor, that foundation, the scaffolding of like what would serve us. And it's actually been flowing really beautifully, like the answers of like what to leave out and what to include and where to actually start feel really relevant, especially with what is going on in the world. Like that sense of chaos is like really the work that we want to, and the offer that we want to put into the world is tending to ourselves, right? And getting us to that centered and grounded space.
And I truly feel that's why it's going to be so juicy and nourishing, is because we're creating what feels good and what we need.
Yeah.
But in our conversations that we have, we notice that whatever we need, there's usually a whole lot of others out there that are in a similar space and would find benefit with that too, which is so incredible on how all of that plays out, and the universal, intertwinings, right? Because we're not all separate beings.
No.
We're all, one big weave that comes together. So we all have similar threads and stories that bring us together and have us all looking and needing similar things to ground us and nourish us and take us deeper into our being.
Yeah. And as you say that, like those threads, like it just brings me to just that visualization of all of these threads oftentimes are tangled up within us. Like there's so many threads and things that just need to unravel, things that need to loosen so that we can decide if those threads and those parts like serve us. Like, what is this, a thread that I need to hold on to, or is this something that is not mine and that I need to let go? And so I feel like so many of us walk around in that like raveled, wrapped tight energy, and we have a systems that feed into that, and like those systems that don't serve us benefit from us being in that anxious, tangled, dysregulated state. And so as we work to like look at this thread that you and I share, and others in the collective share, and you're like, is this mine? Does this belong to me? Or is this not? Is this something that I just picked up along the way? And then doing the work to let go and drop away the parts of us that aren't ours to carry.
Mm-hmm. What comes up for me with all of that, which was beautiful, is, even dropping into our body right now and feeling, where does that tangled up ball of yarn, or that tension, or that anxiety, or however it shows up, where does that come up for you? Where do you feel it in your body? For me, I think that tangle is in my lower back. That's where it comes up for me. And so I just breathe into that spot, and maybe I do some gentle fluid motions in that area.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I think for me, because I am such like an information seeker, like I feel like a lot of the tangling and the unraveling that needs to happen is in my head space, and likely like in that mid-range of like heart, solar plexus area of needing to just like settle and just drop into that space and move from that, even like the excitement of pieces, as we come and we begin looking at all the things that need to unfold in order to launch a business. Like there's a lot of the pieces, and it's all very exciting. And there's also a lot of things that need to be navigated. And so all of those exciting pieces can also intertwine and find a space of anxiousness in our body that that doesn't serve creation, right? Like that doesn't
Mm,
serve the creative process. I love that you
shut
dropped us in.
point.
Yeah, right. Oh my gosh, yeah, because yeah, like it's too much. I can't. Like like this is not the time. Like you could literally put the brakes on yourself if you stay in that energy. So like to be able to tease out and separate the anxiousness and the excitement and the potential and the possibility and the worry and the stuckness, like really being able to like separate those and move through and process the part that doesn't serve, and then tap into the potential, the life force, the creative like energy that is what is feeding like the fear or the worry or those other threads.
Hmm. And I also feel like, we have our intention out there, right? And I feel like opportunities or guidance is also showing up from outside
Yeah.
forces, whether it be an email that we get that kind of gives us a little intro into a platform to host
Yeah.
something on, or whether that be a motivational text message that comes in that we weren't expecting, or like all these things come in. And then to work as a team is a game changer too.
It really is. Like
The biggest
I
game
yeah,
changer.
seriously, like I could kick myself for like all these years I haven't been able to put my gifts into the world and I have all these ideas, and then have this realization like, oh, it's all perfect. Like maybe I wasn't meant to work alone like that. And ever since we started this conversation and started the seed planting of this, it has felt so fun, and inspiration is flowing and confirmations are there. And then when all of that stuff surfaces, we're like, deadlines and tech stuff and financial pieces and business, like all the official stuff, like all of that is likely what has like squelched the gift and the dream for so long. And to be able to message Brittany and be like, this is what I'm going through. Is it alive for you? Are you feeling this too? And know that that there are elements, that same thread that I'm unraveling or paying attention to is also something that she's like being guided or is in her awareness as well.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yeah, and just doing business differently, right? We're not in this rush and push and force. We're kind of being with it. And I even love that we have a little ceremony planned for our business. And I'm excited for that and to see what comes up for both of us, and to really get super deep and clear on how things are going to unfold, and to send out our little invitations.
Yeah, no, I love it. And like the other part again, like what's alive is like what is it that we need? And I know that for me, between balancing like motherhood and meals and myself and business and partnership and all of these things, like sometimes the friendship piece, like finding time to connect and drop into sisterhood, isn't prioritized. And just like that, these overlapping of, oh, by pursuing and getting on it, we're on a business call, like when we get on a business call, it's actually like solidarity and it's sharing, and it's like i've I've had more juicy adult conversations in the past couple weeks with a sister than I've had in a really long time. And so like my soul and my heart just feel so full right now that this is the potential, like this is what is out there.
Well, that's changing what work is too, right? Instead of being like, oh, I have work today, it's just like, ooh, I get to talk to Sharon. What's gonna come up today? What
Exactly.
amazing thing are we gonna create and pull forward? Or what's gonna come up for healing in our conversations? And it's
Uh,
just it's something to look forward to instead of that societal dread of, oh, it's a work day. And
Yeah.
that's what I'm really looking for, is something that feeds my energy and my soul and leaves me more full than before I started it, versus, that typical everybody going to their regular job is just like coming back. And I know that because I still have one of those too, coming back like just fully depleted. But in doing this co-creation with you, like I'm lit up and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, stretching the time. How can I fit even more of putting into this, as well as balancing motherhood and partnership and time for myself and nature and, all the things. But
Yeah, no, I agree. And just the act of being in this co-creative place and actually taking action to pursue this calling to like really start to see it unfold. Oh gosh, it's just such a more fulfilling place. I noticed that when I'm trying to figure it out on my own and there's disappointment that I haven't been able to like launch something, or that I haven't found the time or the space to fully create something, walking through motherhood or even life with that weight feels really burdensome. And so I mean, it just is so amazing to have so many Aries, like not to check things off, but like so many boxes ticked, like, okay, sisterhood, following my calling, putting my creative gifts into the world, like, impacting and the healing in the collective. Like there's just so many things that fill up my cup just from this little pocket of creation that we're stepping into.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And with that, I think that's a great place to kind of round out this conversation today and honor our boundary times for some other commitments we have.
Yeah, I love that.
So, and that on anything else you want to throw in before we close the space?
No, I just think yeah, I'm grateful for this space with you and I just hope that what's coming through leaves the viewers, the people that are tuning in, inspired and supported and a little more lit up and grounded and activated into the potential of like life and what we can shift and what we can change and what we can create.
Yes. And next week, we will be revealing more about what we're creating. So don't miss out on that. And also some upcoming ceremonies that we're going to be holding that'll be full of lots of juicy healing and yeah, I can't
I
wait.
love it. I know my candle's over there. I'm gonna have to remember to bring it closer. So
Okay, I'll
um,
blow it out to close our ceremonial space, and we're all taking our own energy away with us, and we're leaving everything else in the middle. And with that, we're complete. Bye.
bye.